All right, welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is Tankcramer, and I am with Will Peppa MD.
What's
Excuse me.
up?
So yeah, man, we are doing our first musical review, which is In the Heights. So, I know we were talking a little bit beforehand. I know you said you're not a musical guy. I'm really not a musical guy either. I don't go out searching for them. I think every musical I kind of watched was probably because of my girlfriend.
Yeah. Same
Like
here.
I'm like I don't think I ever watched like so many if it wasn't for her. But so this one we watched. Thanks Sam for liking the stream.
Thank you. We appreciate the support. Make sure to
Yeah,
share with your
guys.
friends. Let's talk some New York musicals, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Also, before we really get into it, is thanks for everyone subscribing to our YouTube channel, man. We are up to 77 subscribers now. I know that doesn't seem like much, but man, that is a lot, man. You know, we need to hit 100 subs for a custom URL. So
Woo.
every person helps, and we really appreciate all the support over on our YouTube channel. Even the cat says thank you.
Anyone can help. It takes only about 3 seconds to press that share button,
Yeah.
Possibly you. You could be that guy,
I think I thought I have a soundbite for that.
Thank you, Odali. Thank you so much for sharing the
Yeah, thank
stream.
you.
Appreciate it.
So this one you didn't watch with your wife then? Because
I
I know
didn't.
you usually watch together, right?
We usually watch movies together. This is one where it just timing wise it didn't work out that way, so I watched it by myself, and I had to watch it like not all in one go. I had to like
Mm-hmm.
pause it a few times just to come back. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a musical kind of guy, but I made it work. I
Yeah.
made it work.
So did she want to see it though?
Not really, not particularly. I mean,
She wasn't
surprisingly,
really.
it does like it's funny enough with her. I feel like it really would hit home. My wife is Puerto Rican, and she's also has like a lot of other things. Chilean, she's Mexican. What else? Ecuadorian. I'm
Ecuadorian.
Guatemalan, so like we're just all a bunch of Latinos here. And so like if you're Hispanic or if you're Latino, you'll really hit home with some of the themes and kind of
Mm,
representation in this film for sure.
yeah. So I think before we really get into it, there was a big controversy with this one.
Oh,
Going into it, was we got some comments. Oli said, "Hey guys, what's up? Yay, congrats! Yeah, appreciate it." I know I had one where it's the Step Brothers guy, where it's like investors, possibly you. They can't find that soundbite. Oh well.
Target.
Yeah. Let's say, oh yeah. So the controversy was not enough Afro Latino people in the movie. That
Oh,
a lot of the Hispanics that they were all Hispanic. Well, mostly all. But they weren't very many dark skinned Hispanics. You know, Dominicans, are pretty dark. Some usually, obviously, they come in every shade. I mean,
right.
the girl who played Vanessa is actually, Mexican born in Mexico and stuff like that, and she's like very, very, light complected. But that was the big thing was like, like
Oh.
you don't have any dark skin, any Afro Latinos, in there. So that was kind of the big thing. And then Lin-Manuel came on Twitter and he's like, "Oh, we missed out on that one," and kind of apologized a little bit for that. So,
Okay.
so that was kind of out there. Take that for whatever it is. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you felt about something like that.
So taking
When
a
you
look
watched
at
it.
the cast right now and kind of looking at all the shades of Hispanic that I see, yeah, definitely a lack of darker complected representation. Am I offended by it? No. Are there going to be people that are offended? Probably. But hey, it just comes with show business. You don't see too much representation because the talent's not all out there. There is a lot of talent, but how much do they really get promoted like that, or get
Yeah,
sent up to the big leagues, if you want to call it that? Not too
yeah,
often. It's a little bit of a system that needs to be maybe reworked with Hollywood, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. So I'm happy that we even got a Hispanic movie. So I'm happy for that.
yeah, yeah. You're like, it's about all of them. So you want to watch the trailer?
Yeah, let's watch the trailer. Let's do
Like
it.
we usually do. So one thing before we really get into the trailer, this trailer came out December 12th, 2019.
Oh
That's how
snap!
long ago this movie was supposed to come out. This was supposed to come out very, very early on in 2020, and obviously COVID, and they just had it on the back burner for over a year at this point. It's crazy.
Damn it, COVID.
So yeah, so a little bit going into the trailer, so the
Okay.
date might be a little different,
Okay.
but very, very. I thought the visual effects were really good. I'm sure the people that lived in that neighborhood were not too happy
Right.
with everything being shut down.
Hell yeah. I mean, you got a bunch of bodegas, you got a representation of what New York feels like. You get
Yeah,
all these close corner streets, and you got this is what something interesting that threw me the F off. You see him, right? The main character whose
yeah.
name is Usnavi, right?
Oh, it was Navi.
He like it starts off where he's talking to these kids, one of them who is his daughter, and he's
Hmm.
telling this story of what it's like to be in the heights, right? He's talking about the struggles and everything that comes with it, and
Yeah,
you see them, they're on a beach, right?
yeah, yeah.
That plays a part later. We'll talk about that later, but at the end I was shooketh when I'm like, oh, the beach.
Yeah,
But yeah, like I said, we'll talk about that later. You see, and I think there's just one really African American actor in this, and that's the guy
yeah.
who played, what's his name?
Benny, the guy who played Benny.
Benny, right? Um, he did a decent job. I wish he would have been talked about more. There's a lot of just people of color in general in New York, so it would have been nice to see like some
Yeah.
more
Oh my God,
characters.
that scene with Claudia, Abuela Claudia.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God, that was so sad, dude. That was like
Very sad. I
legit,
definitely
like
dropped a
tearing up.
tear when I'm not gonna say it, but towards the end of the movie, you really feel for her. She's someone, she's the abuela, and everybody calls her abuela because she raises the whole neighborhood. She's just
Yeah,
always like a shoulder to lean on, a person to talk to. She always gives the best advice, and she's like this to all these kids that live in the hood because she never could have kids of her own.
yeah,
and uh,
yeah. She
and
never had any.
bless everyone that can have kids, but sometimes people cannot, and it's not their fault. But hey, we
That yeah, that scene
what's up?
was pretty cool where they're dancing on the side of the building.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah,
was
yeah.
super cool. I was like,
That was
it was
cool.
well done. But yeah, no, Claudia, Abuela Claudia was definitely really, really good. Like, yeah.
Yeah, she really made you like
Wait, when was this supposed to come out? Ah, in theaters, summer 2021. So they must have
summer
changed
21.
it
Okay,
because this
probably.
came out. Yeah, this is December 12th, 2019. This trailer,
Okay,
so
right.
they might have changed it. Um, yeah, man, she was awesome. I believe the actress that played Claudia was the actress in the musical. I believe on Broadway.
Oh,
She was
interesting.
the original cast. Oh, I'm sorry, Kitty.
So like we were saying earlier, this all stemmed from a play from when Lin-Manuel Miranda he made this play, and it was screenwritten by him, stage concept by him. Bless you.
Yeah.
When was that, by the way? Do you know exactly when his plays are
Oh,
coming
I
out?
don't know. I don't
They're
know.
just. Oh, okay. We can get to that, but yeah. So it's based off, I guess, his story. He was the one, like you said earlier, that played Usnavi. Now,
Yeah.
Usnavi is the one that kind of it kind of the movie follows a few characters in the movie. I want to say the main character who's telling the
Yeah,
story.
he's definitely the main character.
He's like the main character. And his name. You want to talk about his name? His name is funny as hell. You
Yeah, it was
find-
something I didn't expect.
so
That was kind of really good.
Usnavi is super super unique because no one has that name. No one has that name. We come to find out that Usnavi um, is a name that I guess the main character's dad picked when he was on a
On
boat
the
traveling to the U.S.
Yeah.
Right, And as soon as he came and he's like nearby, he saw a ship nearby that said U.S. Navy, right? U.S. Navy, and bless his soul, but the father was like, "Oh my God, that name over there! I'm naming my son that," not knowing
But
what it was or what it represented.
yeah, that was
So,
I thought that was pretty funny because I'm like, well, I first heard his name in the movie, I was like, oh, that must be a nickname, you know? It was like because
mm,
there's a nickname or something like that. But then they say it, and I kept trying to. I'm like, what's his name? Usnavi? Usnavi? So and then when it was like, oh, U.S. Navy, I was like, are you kidding me? That is freaking hilarious. That's so funny. But it's like it's also just something so like his dad was so proud to come to
yeah.
America, and he saw that on the military boat. So he's like, oh, that's what I'm gonna call him. It was just like, um,
That was good.
yeah.
Hey, it's a
But
better name than what Elon Musk gave his kid. So
oh Jesus, yeah,
I'll take Usnavi
yeah,
any day.
yeah,
That's funny though. But yeah, that was pretty interesting. The guy who's telling the story about how it is to be in the Heights. The Heights is referred to as a place in New York. It's Washington Heights. It's like a
yeah. It's
town
like
that's
way up north or something like that.
yeah. It's I don't know my geography too well. Maybe New Yorkers are gonna get pissed, but I don't care. But I just know
Well,
that it's
I don't know.
somewhere like 10 minutes away from the Bronx. That's what I keep hearing in the movie. That's it's somewhere not too
Oh
far
yeah.
from the
Yeah, I didn't
Bronx.
think
So
about that.
it's mhm. But yeah, that's where it takes place. You want to talk about? Let's see. Where's my phone? Let's see. The whole story is just him talking about how the block is disappearing. You want to talk about that? What does that mean?
Yeah. I mean, it was just kind of like you see that today in today's world, the whole like gentrification kind of
Hmm.
the owner of the beauty salon, she even said it too, why she is moving out of there because she can't afford it. She's getting like priced out. I think she said it.
Yep.
And it's not nothing new, we see it like in Chicago, Pilsen, is kind of the one that I'm pretty close to, with my girlfriend being there. A few other, even Alfredo lived in Pilsen for a long time. Um,
Mm.
so seeing that, like, just like, oh, that's just what happens, and then you know the the
Yeah.
the, the white guys that charge an arm and a leg for dry cleaning start to move in, and you know,
Yeah.
which is what happened in the movie. So it just kind of like it sucks. It's like because it's their
Yeah.
neighborhood, but they're starting to like either like with one of the main characters, she's moving on because of school. She wants
Right.
to better, herself to help her community as well. And then some
Mm.
other people, were planning on leaving, to go back
Yeah.
home and build the Usnavi kept saying the best years of his life was when he was in Dominican with his dad. So,
Right.
he wants to go back there and kind of redo that and stuff like that. So it's yeah. I mean, it's stuff that I think we see today, especially in a neighborhood like with Chicago. That's super
Yeah.
segregated. So when that segregated area gets gentrified, it kind of like you're like, oh yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah.
You know,
It's happening right now to like Humble Park. Like if you
oh
remember
yeah,
Humble Park in I don't know, the 90s, even as late as the 2000s, right? You couldn't
much
really walk
different.
around jogging or do anything that's so casual because you'd have to be looking around behind your back because
Yeah,
game bangers, you got a bunch of just bad things going on. A lot of good things too, a lot of great culture, a lot of great food, but man, a lot of bad things too. It was just not safe. But then now Humboldt Park is looking great. If you live in Chicago, it's just getting more expensive, like how you were talking about. But everyone is just drifting away. Everyone's kind of growing up and it happens. It happens all the time. People go to school, people get better skill sets, and their job makes them move somewhere else. We're all can kind of relate in some way to some kind of
was
these stories.
oh I remember there was like I think a lot of people were saying back. Oh man, was this like 10 years ago at this point? Like it's become instead of Humboldt Park, becoming Humboldt Heights, kind of,
Oh,
so that's that was the thing. I don't know if they were still saying it, but back then they were kind of saying
I
that a
did hear
lot.
about that. I did hear about that too. Um,
Yeah.
And like
yeah,
throughout the whole movie, like you kind of get this theme, this overall like I want to call it a theme that time is running out, right? That's what I
yeah.
think. The common thing that is kept like reoccurring and it's like said as an idea is time is running out. It'll even show like in the corner of the movie that it'll say like, oh,
I just noticed a
so
dude
many
behind
hours.
you.
Yeah.
He scared the shit out of me.
That's my bodega guy, dude.
So for the audio listeners, we got green screens up, and he has like this bodega kind of behind him, and your head was covering him. So when you moved over, I'm like, "Who's behind you?" Oh, dude,
That's good, man.
I'm like, what the fuck is that?
I'm gonna call him. I don't know. What should I call him, man?
Oh man,
Nah, I don't. I wouldn't even call him.
Army. Who's Army?
Who's Army? There you go.
Who's Navy?
Who's Navy? Who's Army? Okay. But yeah, this is what a typical bodega looks like in New York. You have like, a little bit of everything. It's like like if you live in Chicago, it's a combination of a gas station, a CVS, a regular ass supermarket, and I don't know, and like a pit stop type place, all in one. It's so.
Yeah.
If you look at, there's no room for like labels and shit like that. These guys, I'm pretty, and I see it in a bunch of videos when I watch videos about New York. Like the guy at the counter, he just knows the prices, or either that, or he's making them up on the spot.
I mean, probably a little both.
Right? Yeah, like he probably taxes people, but
certain people like, oh, you're not from around here. Okay.
Exactly.
$5.
I don't see labels or any of that on this stuff. Maybe the labels. Oh, they have the little gun, right? The little sticker gun.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, but yeah. So we'll we go into it. So Usnavi owned this bodega. He was like you said, the main character, and he's getting ready to move back to DR to reinvent his dad's bar. So I guess he said he finally got it working, saved up his pennies. And he's getting ready to move on, to DR. So I don't know. So I was like, oh man, I was like, that's kind of like a crazy move,
Yeah.
But he's not he's the main character, like you said, but he's not like the only kind of main character.
Yeah, the story kind of circles around a few other characters. One of them was Vanessa. Another one was Nina. And let me see.
It doesn't like so it kind of goes in couples. There was also oh my god, I can't think of her name. The lady who owned the salon.
Daniela.
She was in I didn't know. My girlfriend had told me when we were watching. She goes, oh, she was one of the original cast members in Rent. So
okay, cool.
So she's a big shot with the Broadway musical, stuff like that.
Yeah,
there was a bunch of other Hamilton people in this movie. That was kind of good.
That's cool.
Anthony Ramos, the guy who played Usnavi, he was Lin-Manuel's son when he played Hamilton.
Oh, okay.
So
cool.
I'm not 100% sure if he was in the original In the Heights either. I didn't see that.
One thing though, tell me the guy that played Usnavi does not look like a Hispanic. What's his name? Ooh, what's his name? The guy from Chicago. Hold on.
He did look familiar. I was like, man, he looks like somebody.
Who's the meme that they always mess with where they're like, I got these stones, man. The actor from Chicago, Terrence Howard. He looks like Terrence Howard, bro.
Terrence Howard?
I get Terrence Howard from him. There's a few times where like he does a little smle or something, and I was like, bro, that's Hispanic Terrence Howard. I'm gonna show you a comparison photo after this, but but that's what I totally got from him.
He sounded a lot like, if you ever watched Hamilton or anything like that, he sounded a lot like Lin-Manuel. Which makes sense because that was his character and that was his play and stuff like that. But just the way he sang and the way he talked and all his like little nuances sounded very much like him. And I was like, oh man, like I was like, yeah, like you sound a lot like him. Also, knowing him for so long, like, he met his wife when he was on Hamilton. So it's like, so Lin-Manuel was like family at that point. It's like he's been around with him for so long. So yeah, you would pick up some of his little habits and stuff like that. But yeah, wait, you want to keep going with the story?
Yeah, so he's someone that he's going after his dream, right? The name of the restaurant is, and as a constant another theme in this film is dreams or sueños, sueñitos. A sueño means dream in Spanish. That's all it is. So everyone has a dream. You know, when you live in the hood, you always dream about like, oh, I'm gonna get out the hood, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. And so that's a constant theme that you're gonna notice if you ever watch this film. I think you should. Um, you'll notice that they mention dreams or the sueñitos or what my parents' dreams were for me or blah blah blah. You know, everyone
Mm,
has what they want, and then what actually happens, you know, is another curveball that you'll see in the film,
yeah.
right? And so him that's one thing. Let me get my notes out real quick. Um,
Um,
in
well, and
like
then
they show a scene where the lady, like, yeah, we kind of talked about that already, but Daniela, she's in the salon and they get the whole cliche of the, you know, being in a salon, you get all the
you know
chisme or the gossip,
the
right?
gossip.
Everyone's talking about what's going on. And so we learn about what's her name, the person, the
Nina.
Lisa Grace, Nina, yeah. We learned that
Yeah.
she was doing it big, was a straight A student, you know, throughout her whole life. Her dad, who's played by, man, there's so many actors.
Jimmy Smits, man. That's a OG right there, man.
Oh, yeah, Jimmy Smith. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
He's like invested his whole business and everything that he's done in life has been put towards her and setting her on her way, right? So she actually got accepted to Stanford University. I don't even
Yeah.
know what it is, but but she got accepted to Stanford, which is a
Yeah.
very prestigious
That's
school,
Ivy League. Yeah.
Ivy League. So
Yeah.
she was excited. The whole hood was excited. When she left, she was doing her thing, but she's come to realize that she doesn't quite fit in. And a lot of us have gone through that, right? Where we don't fit in, whether it doesn't even have to be where you're Hispanic or not. But she was a person of color. She had an incident where like someone accused her of stealing and
Yeah.
security
That.
like threw all her stuff everywhere. I mean, we don't see any of this imagery, but she talks about it,
Yeah.
and she talks about how all their stuff was thrown, and just to come find out the girl who accused her of stealing her precious, I don't even know what it was, but
Pearls. It was
pearls. Oh my
her
god.
roommate. Her
Oh,
roommate
her
accused
roommate.
her
Yeah,
of stealing her pearls.
she
It's
had
like,
them
who
in her
brings
bag the whole
pearls
time.
to a fucking?
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. It's Stanford, so maybe I don't know. I don't know what they do in those big shot schools.
I don't know if those semester issued or something. I don't know, but yeah, like she didn't like it being there, away from her family, away from all her support and everything. She was just getting
The
homesick,
neighborhood.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and so when she's on her way, or when, her being back, and it's kind of just like zooming on that part of her life that she came back, she's just feeling uneasy about it. She's thinking that she's already going to drop out, and she's just like having a hard time trying to tell her dad the hood. But she tells the ladies there at the salon, and they're all like, you know, she tells them, and she gets upset because they're all like gassing her up because they thought she was going to continue. Then she
Yeah.
shuts them down. She leaves, and then the ladies, you know, um being chismosas or being gossip girls, they start like assuming like, oh, maybe she got pregnant, or maybe this
Yeah.
happened, or you know, they were just
She
throwing up all
failed or
these,
flunked out. Yeah.
yeah, all these crazy ideas, doing what I guess salon women do. That's what's like, I guess, assumed in the
Like
film.
the cliche. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the cliche. And another character they follow is, what did I have this cast?
Vanessa. I don't think we really talked
Vanessa.
about Vanessa yet.
No, Vanessa is a young woman that is into like designing, right? All her life she's been like really like to herself, really isolated, and she doesn't like people too much, but she has a passion for fashion, which is, that's
Hmm.
funny, that rhymes. Anyways, she has a
Like you, man.
passion for
You're
fashion.
singing musicals, man.
I
Lin-Manuel needs
swear,
to
dude.
hire you, man.
Dude, I swear, man. I had to pause this film like 3 times, just take a breather. Like, hold on, man. Like, just like, oh, I have an idea, by the way. If you ever do watch this film, I have an idea of what you should do while you watch the film. You should drink a drinking game. You want to hear my drinking game real quick?
With what? Yeah. What is it?
So, in case you ever watch this film, the drinking game consists of taking a shot or a drink of whatever you're having. Every time someone says the word sueñito or dream, that's one, right? If someone every time someone says Usnavi's name, just because that's hilarious, like of a name.
Yeah.
Anytime someone breaks into song. Now this is a musical, right?
See, that's
You get fucked up instantly with that one.
yeah, that's done. Just take the whole bottle of Tito's right there.
That's for our veteran type players, right?
Yeah,
If you break
that's the
into
pro league.
song, that's when you'll take a drink. Anytime someone mentions the word barrio or mentions the neighborhood or my block, boom, another shot.
Uh,
And then
About anytime anybody, every time they pronounce New York as Nueva York.
Nueva York. Yeah, there you go. That's
Okay,
a good one.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a New York thing, but I'm like, I don't think I ever heard that before. I'm
No?
like,
Oh.
is that a thing? Like, I wasn't sure if that's what like they call them. Like people from New York might say like call that. I was like, I don't know if it was just added for the musical kind of thing, you know?
Mm, that's interesting. I don't know. It sounds like it feels right. That maybe they just say it like that over there. That
Yeah,
is new to me too, though. I will say that. And then my
yeah.
last one was every time, and this is a good one too, because like me not liking musicals, like you don't expect someone like me to get into a film like this, right? So I made the
Mm.
last rule: every time you move your body to the music, sort of like tapping, take a drink. Because
Yeah,
some of the songs in here, you're gonna see that they're kind of catchy. You'll see
catchy.
like the young cousin of Usnavi, he has some mad
Sunny.
bars. Yeah,
Yeah,
he has some
in the
mad
pool,
bars. The pool scene,
the pool
like
scene.
I didn't expect
Yeah.
they were gonna go into musical like then, but like man, he did his thing.
Have you seen Hamilton?
I have not. I want to see
You have
it.
not.
I
Oh,
wanna
you
see
got.
it.
It's on Disney Plus, I believe.
No shit. Okay, I gotta check it
Yeah,
out.
that was a big thing that it was coming out on Disney Plus.
Mm.
And it's just so hard. It's like he's really like Lin-Manuel Miranda is really good at catching people's not only their attention, just like it just everything's catchy, you know. And I'm like,
Right.
dude, like, have you seen Moana? Like, okay, yeah, he wrote all the songs for Moana. Yeah, you're gonna
Oh,
love it. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of them. You're like, oh, he wrote that. He wrote that. He wrote that. You're like, oh, dang,
the man's a
he knows
genius.
how to make a catchy song and stuff like
Okay.
that. So he's pretty
Okay.
awesome and stuff like that. So yeah, I was like, even me who's like not really like I obviously like grew up around like Puerto Ricans and Mexicans my whole life, so I know all the music.
Yep.
It's not like the stuff I listen to like daily. But even I was like, yeah, it's catchy. It's dancing. It was
Hell
pretty
yeah.
good. Do you want to like skip some of the smaller things
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
go to the
Um.
meatier? I'm trying to
Yeah.
think because there was a lot of like fill-in stuff because it is a musical, so musicals are like 3 hours
It's a lot of
long.
small details.
Yeah.
Like so, for example, yeah, some of the bigger details that kind of progress the story, having to do with the best one I think is um, let's do Vanessa. Vanessa,
Hmm.
she the designer, right? She's moving away because her shop. She works at that salon that Daniela runs.
Yeah.
She's forced to kind of move away too because she has to find also another new job and whatnot. She's trying to get this apartment that's in the Bronx,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and because she's just just a hood chick from New York, she doesn't have too many credentials as she's seen to other people. Now, people that know her, they know she's a genius with designs and whatnot, and that's her thing with fashion. And so she attempts to sign out an application for an apartment
Yeah.
or yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Sure thing.
everyone's like she's kind of conflicted because she's like, oh, like I don't know, she's just having issues turning it in, and then when she finally does turn that thing in, right, and she goes to I guess like an open house or something for that,
Hmm.
the realtor just like drove her away easy.
Ooh.
She already had that play in her playbook, right? Like as soon as she
Yeah. Yeah.
saw a Hispanic female, young Hispanic female, and she saw like her job, which all she wrote was she didn't even say like in a professional way really. It just said like I don't know, hairdresser or something like that. She could have said it in a bigger way or in a better way, but she put hairdresser and then not too much credentials because she's young, she and so she was like, yeah, we're gonna have to run a credit check on you for you to get this place, and then also
That's
if you
insane.
can't do that, then can you have somebody co-sign? And
Yeah.
she that was a slap in the
The
face.
Yeah. Well, I didn't catch it. My girlfriend caught it. Where she's like, oh. we need to make sure you make 40 times the rent.
Oh
And I was like,
yeah.
what? And then on the paper, you see the rent, it's $3,500 a month. If you do
Yeah.
40 times that, you need to make 140 a year just to afford this little crappy studio apartment.
Yep.
I'm like,
I did
what?
see that.
I was like, that's bonkers.
Damn.
That's
That detail did get
bonkers.
past. I saw and heard that, but damn, I do remember that. She said 40
Yeah.
times. Like, is that even a thing? Can you make that a rule?
I have no idea.
I think she made that one up because that's ridiculous. If you can show the credit history, or if you can like give some kind of like, I don't know, way to prove that you can make the payments besides a credit report, like or sure, like some people will do like with cars, right? They'll show, hey, show me a credit card bill from the past 3 months. Boom. If you're making payments towards a credit card, you can afford to hopefully pay rent, right? But
yeah,
she,
hopefully.
she could have went a different route with that, but man, really shunned her away. Like she started crying. She went to the bodega, and she's kind of like the love interest of the main character, who's Navi. So she goes, and I guess like low key in my head, like it's not really looking that way, but low key she went to go cry to him because she went to his
Kind of.
bodega, um, and she even threw away her application in his trash, and so he picked up on that. He picked up on that, and he goes to check the whatchamacallit, the like what the application or what the paper was, and he
Yeah.
sees that she got rejected, and she was also telling him about it too, and she's like, oh, whatever, like she was pissed, she was just done.
Yeah.
And he ends up doing something really nice for her. I gotta find out her name. Oh, it was Daniela.
Daniela. Yeah, as she's moving, she he tries to help Vanessa get the place by having her sign.
Oh yeah. She has
Yeah.
Daniela try to co-sign. He convinces her because she didn't want to at first. She's in the middle of like moving her shop and doing all this. He's busy, 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 and he really, really. It shows that he really went out of his way to try to convince somebody who's doing a big business move. Like you don't want to worry about little stupid shit like that. Like,
Yeah, I know. I was like, you got your own stuff you got to worry about.
yeah, and she said yeah. So you'll find out later, and we'll talk about that maybe at the very, very end. Another character that we're kind of following is Corey Hawkins, who plays Benny.
Benny.
He is like a good or a great salesman. He works under
Kevin,
Kevin,
which
Jimmy
is
Smits.
Jimmy Smits.
Yeah, and Jimmy Smits is the father of the grad student, right? The college student.
Of
Nina. So this is all tied. This is where it all gets tied in, right? So Kevin, right, Jimmy Smith's character, he has this business, and like I said, he's been investing in this business and everything business related or with his family.
Like a cab. It's like a cab kind of
cab business, right?
like a cab business. Yeah.
He's been doing that, and he even downsized. He had sold like half his business or half his like building of what he was occupying to someone else, right? That wanted it. Again, getting gentrified, and
a white guy,
for his daughter, to go to school, right? He's barely making these payments for the Stanford tuition, but he's doing it. He's really like putting all his marbles in her, and she feels a lot of pressure. And so she's already kind of like saying like, nope, I don't want to go to school anymore. Like she even lies to him on the phone or
yeah.
on the phone.
Yeah, no, she lies to him about the deadline's over. That like you can't sign up for next year. It's too late. Because she was just done at that point.
Mm-hmm. And
which is sad. That sucks.
And he's like, oh man, and he really wants her to keep going with school because that's his investment. His daughter's investment. So he ends up like calling the school up in a like really isolated scene. He calls them up, and he finds out that the deadline's not over, and he's like, okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna make these payments and whatever. So he decides to sell the rest of his god dang shop, or his business, I should say, where he's occupying, his office and whatnot. And he has like a lot of stuff going on with that. And so Corey Hawkins' character Benny is he's not a salesman, he's a dispatcher, but he's just really good at what he does. I swear he thought he was a salesman, but no, he just has this salesman type attitude. He's very like friendly,
and they all wear that salesman kind of outfit, with the white button down, tie and slacks and stuff. So it was very like businessman like.
Right.
But yeah, no, he's a dispatcher at the
Dispatcher.
taxi place. Yeah.
And he's just really good at his job. He keeps up with everything. Like I think 2 or 3 times in the film, there's a power outages because that happens a lot in New York. So many, it's so overpopulated over there
Uh,
that everybody using their ACs at the same time and all these
the
electronics
blackout. Yeah.
get blacked out. So him, out of the kindness of his heart, he didn't have to do this. This is off day, right? He went into the office and like power up a generator and use his phone to take like incoming calls and man, just
Yeah.
all this crazy stuff because he really cared about, everyone's caring about trying to make it out the hood, and that was his way of I guess trying to make it out is be the best employee he could be. So he was just
Yeah.
going OT on everything.
Yeah. But I felt like it was also like he knew the neighborhood needed help.
Oh
So that
yeah,
was his way of helping the neighborhood as well, So it was like also like like I don't know, like he just wanted to help, because that was like I feel like a big part of this whole movie was like everyone was part of this neighborhood, and the neighborhood was like a family, you
true.
know.
True. Very, very
So
community. Everyone has a
yeah,
role, and yeah.
yeah,
I noticed sometimes they weren't charging each other. Like, even what's her name? Nina. She didn't get charged, dog. I didn't see that in the scenes
oh yeah.
for her haircut. And
Well, yeah, she skipped a line when she first walked into the
yeah,
haircut. Vanessa never paid. They even made a joke about it later. Vanessa never paid for a coffee,
yeah.
So
But they all don't give a shit. They're
yeah,
like, oh, we'll put it on your tab, or they always
yeah,
make a joke like, oh, well, you got next time type deal. And
yeah,
yeah, I do agree. I definitely see that community type family that they have going on. Um,
yeah.
Another character they kind of follow around. Oh, and he doesn't get too much story time. I wish he did because he has a very, very like tearjerker type story. The guy who plays Sonny, who's like the cousin to the
Oh
main
yeah, yeah.
character, who's Navi. He's someone that like he's all about being and staying in the hood, right? And you don't see that he has too many aspirations other than just staying in the hood. But then we realize that he gets like some kind of inspiration from Nina going to school. So he has aspirations to go to school, to go to college. The only thing
Hmm.
that's holding him back is that during this current time where the story is taking place, the Dreamers Act was going to get taken away. So that means that anyone
Yeah.
who's a dreamer or who's in the United States because of that I don't know what you call it. What do you call it? That clause.
Uh,
If you're in that clause and you'll that applies to you if you're someone foreign, you're trying to go to school here or work here.
hmm.
That's what it kind of applies to. I think it's trying to go to school here for
Yeah,
work
it's
later on.
yeah, it's the dreamer. It's like school, mostly education for the
Hmm.
like the DACA dreamer stuff. So
Yes, and that's getting taken away. And
yeah,
and this kid, we come to find out, spoiler king alert, he is undocumented. Um, Poor
yeah.
guy. He's undocumented, and we don't really know why he's undocumented or kind of what's too much going about that. We find out that we get like a cameo from Mark Anthony, which by the way, Mark Anthony did like a way better job than what I imagined he would do in the film. I didn't even know that he was in the film when I watched it. But man, he plays like a really dark like character that's just like, oh, I don't care about the future, and I'm gonna drink and
Yeah, he's like a druggy alcoholic
yeah,
kind
just
of character.
which
Which real quick, so Mark Anthony is in the movie, like you said, and my girlfriend brought it up. I didn't even think about it. It's super funny. They're like the biggest troll of the
mm,
whole movie is you have Mark Anthony, who is a singer, a legit singer, not a Broadway singer, like a singer, a musician.
ah.
And he said maybe what 3 sentences, like maybe a little bit,
Yeah.
not not any kind of music from him, no singing at all. It's like you have Mark Anthony. That's insane. You
Yeah.
and I don't know whose idea that was, but that's such like hey, we got Mark Anthony, but he's
Not
he's
singing,
gonna
and
look like trash and not sing anything.
he really
So that was
was.
pretty fun.
He was like
That
the
was
Oscar the
super funny.
Grouch to Sesame Street. That's who we played. He's the real
Yeah,
like yeah. I didn't think about that, dude. I know he's a singer, he's an artist and musician and all that,
he's
but
a big one. Yeah,
I didn't think about the fact that he didn't do any singing
that's
scenes.
hilarious. And I started when she told me that, I started laughing because I'm like, that is so fucking funny. It was
Yeah.
like, oh, excuse me, damn, that they would do something like that. That they would have like this great musician and like, man, he's gonna not say anything.
that was good. That's a good. It's a good
It's,
meme,
yeah,
man. I
yeah,
totally didn't think of that one, but yeah,
yeah,
he's the father, right? And for some reason, I guess and maybe maybe I missed this, right? But Usnavi is having this idea that he wants to take his cousin with him to
yeah,
go revive his dad's bar, and what's his name? Damn. Sonny is like nah, like or he doesn't like. He's like nah, I want to stay here and whatnot. But I think he actually knows the reason why. It's because he can't go, right? He can't legally go and then expect to come back, or like you can't try to get on a plane if you don't have an ID. Let's just put it that way, right?
yeah.
And he knows that, and the dad he just has this I don't give a f mentality. I think did Uznavi know that he was undocumented at first?
Oh yeah,
He did
yeah.
know.
I mean, yeah, he knew
He knew,
because
yeah,
they
right.
even because the dad Mark Anthony had asked him. He goes, "Oh, how do you pay him?" And he's like, "Oh, I pay
Mm,
him in cash." And he
yeah.
goes, "You ever wonder why?" So obviously, Mark Anthony, the dad, knows, and yeah, I assume he kind of knew. Which I like how they
Oh,
didn't really tell you because you're like because he just made it sound like when he was offered like, "Hey, you're gonna come to DR with me." And he told Usnavi, he's like, "Oh no, this is my home, dude. Like that's your home because that's where your best years were." He goes, "But
yeah.
New York is my home, you know." And it was kind of like, I'm like, "Oh, okay." It's like I get that, but then
Mhm,
there was more to
yeah.
that part of it, which I thought was good.
When he asked that question, when he asked like, "Oh, why you pay him in cash?" I thought that was him revealing why that he was undocumented. Because like
Mm.
because he when he was
Kind
asking
of, yeah.
he was asking the dad, he was asking like it was gonna be all willy nilly, like, "Oh yeah, like, can I? Yes, no, cool, yeah, like
Oh,
come with
oh no,
me."
you asked that Usnavi knew he was undocumented.
Yeah, dude, Navi didn't know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. No, no, no. I don't. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had that character mixed up. No, I don't think he
Gotcha.
knew.
No,
Yeah,
it
I
seemed
don't
like he
think he
didn't
knew.
know, and then he finds out he's
It seemed like he didn't know.
undocumented, and um, oh, we do see he does, yeah, he does have aspirations. So like he mentions to Nina when she gets into town, like, hey, we got a rally coming up in a few days for a protest to keep DACA implemented and whatnot. You
Yeah.
trying to come shake that booty or whatever you said, and
Yeah, I
and she's
forget
like,
what
yeah,
he says.
I'll make it, and she didn't really
Yeah,
give two shits about it, right?
yeah,
But
because she was gonna go
she was gonna go anyways, right, to support. But then, um, do you want to talk about that when like when they finally go to the
to
rally,
the rally.
or is there anything else that I missed or that we missed?
Um, no, I think that was kind of the big moment for Nina too. Was they were listening to I know the speaker is somebody important. I can't think of who she is, but there was
Mm.
a speaker in the rally, and she was like saying like,
Oh,
oh, they're not letting them. She was saying all stuff, and then she basically said
yeah,
like, oh, they're not. You can't go to college, and then he kind of like his whole demeanor changed, and he just like left the crowd, and that's when Nina went and
yeah. He
like,
said like,
hey, what's wrong?
mhm.
And it was like, and she's Puerto Rican, so she didn't. That's nothing she has to worry about. You know what I mean?
Ah,
So,
right.
so when he's like, oh, I couldn't get a license, but I didn't know I couldn't go to college. And she was like, oh, but that's only for the undocumented. He's like, he looked at her, he's like, yeah, and she's
Yep.
like, oh, and then I like that scene a lot because it was like her choosing not to continue with school because of all the trouble it's
Mhm.
causing her dad and for her like with racial kind of stuff, so she's choosing not to
Yep.
go to school where he's forced he can't,
He
like that's it, like
doesn't even have the
you know
option.
no option, and then that's when like the whole she kind of figures out like what she wants to do, is
Sh
like you
it
know
it sounds like
oh,
she gets motivation again. Like she didn't have a drive to keep going, but then when she realized, "Oh, damn, I gotta fight for the little guy that can't even make a voice for himself or can't, get
mhm,
his foot in the door for schools and make a better life for himself." That's what it was all about, making a better life for yourself. She,
mhm.
in a very bratty way, like, "Yeah, like I'm having a tough time in school because I'm an outcast." She's having that kind of moment, and
Yeah.
and then you see a kid that's like dying to go to school. His whole soul
It's
broke down,
mhm.
right in front of her, as soon as he realized he couldn't even go to school because he's undocumented. Poor
Yeah.
dude. And so when she saw
Wow.
that, she saw how like ridiculous she was kind of acting. So she was like, you know what? Nah, I am gonna go to school now. So she changes her mind, which is spoiler alert. That's what we are. Um, she decides that she is gonna go to school so that she can fight for the little guy that can't. And she even tells that
Yeah.
to her dad, and he's so happy because he sold like the rest of his business so he can pay for tuition
That's
year two
cool.
or something.
Yeah.
And that was how that kind of all played out. Now with the main character, right, Usnavi and Vanessa,
Vanessa.
they have their kind of conflicts going on. So throughout the movie, we see that they have this like cat and mouse type play that one will kind of want the other, and then one will want the other more, and they
Yeah.
just like they're never in sync. They're never in sync.
Yeah.
Like she invites him, or he wants to get on a date with her, and so his little cousin plays wingman and earns him a date. Right? It was a little funny scene in the bodega in here,
That was good. Yeah.
and he's I don't know why, but Usnavi's real shy for some reason, but he really really likes Vanessa, and he's always liked her, and so she invites him to like a ball or some kind of party, right?
Yeah.
No, the club. It was a
Yeah.
club,
It's like a club. Yeah.
and
Yeah. They
so
like
she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna be at
Fiesta.
this club.
Fiesta.
Yeah, I'm gonna be at this club on this day. If you're trying to come down." And he's like, "Yeah." So he goes, and man, a few times, man, and I still think that if they have a part two for this film, like I feel like another conflict that he's gonna be having is alcoholism. And
Yeah.
here's where I
That's
think
true.
why. So and this is a very interesting scene, by the way. I'm trying to cut this time, but he goes to the club and he's like real nervous and like he's trying to get a dance with her, but she's like gets asked to dance by somebody else, some other dude, and he's like,
Everybody. Yeah.
everybody wants to dance with her and everybody
Yeah.
gets a chance to dance with her, and he's over here trying to get a drink, right? And once he gets the drink, he's trying to loosen up and he's like, hey, do you want a drink? And she's like, no, 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 I'm not about drinking, I just want to dance, I'm trying to dance with you and have
Yeah.
this interaction, and really like get intimate. But he doesn't get the hint. He's over here trying to loosen up with alcohol. Meantime, she's over here dancing with other guys, so he kind of gets jealous vibes from that, and so he
Yeah.
starts to like talk to another girl. Comes to find out she don't even speak English, and like he's just like,
It's just
whatever, that'll do, and like he's just trying to make her jealous too, and it's just
yeah.
and they keep can't like I said, they keep playing like cat and mouse and just kind of going back and forth on who's more obsessed with who at that time. And so
Yeah.
that's the first time we see that, and he's drinking is a problem in that time, right? Then later on, right, the night that Abuela died. Spoiler alert, Abuela
Oh
died.
man, yeah. That was the as we get into it real quick
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
that was super sad. That was super
Oh,
super
so
super sad.
sad.
Her musical scene she did with the train, and then she oh man, it was just so I think that was the best. That was the best song in the entire movie
Oh
for me.
yeah.
That was just so good. It was so passionate. It was just so meaningful, and it was just like so much like the symbolism for it was crazy. Like she's walking
Yeah.
down a tunnel with the light at the end. And it's
Right?
just like
And how New
and
York of it to be a subway tunnel, right? And
yeah, yeah,
that was like her crossover kind of scene, if you want to put it into perspective. That was her
yeah,
crossover scene because like during a blackout, she's like hyperventilating, she's drinking, and then also her body temperature's
she has
going up.
heart issues
Heart
because I
issues.
know
There you
like
go.
she was supposed to be
Oh,
taking medicine in the beginning of the movie
she didn't
where
take it.
um Usnavi kept telling her like, oh, don't forget your medicine, but
Hmm.
But
He
yeah,
he, wa-
but
he
yeah,
was
so
that
she
guy.
dies.
He was that guy to remind her, and he's getting messed up at that party, and with the blackout and everything, and Hispanics, even in the brink of a blackout, Hispanics they showed a few times. We'll just party it up, like, oh damn, we're gonna be sad in this blackout. Hell no, turn up, light them candles, let's get the
Yeah,
the alcohol, and that's a lot of what you'll see in the film. Hopefully, Hispanics don't take too offense to it because I mean, that's what Hispanics do. I mean, I don't know what else to say, but yeah, we make good times out of bad times. That's what the overall
yeah,
another
which is
theme
yeah,
that's just kind of communicated, and that was a time where everyone's kind of doing their own thing, drinking and whatnot, chopping it up and just talking, and Abuela's over here just on the bed and just like she knows she's going,
uh,
she
yeah.
knows she's going,
That was
right,
so sad.
and how do you say? And it was really sad because she was just like
But
I
it
said,
was,
the neighborhood
yeah.
abuela. She took care of everybody.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
Yeah. But no, it was also like I think like it was happy too for her. You know, it was like she got to be there, maybe not directly surrounded by all the people like around her, you know, like that, but she was there with everyone she loved in the neighborhood and everyone that loved her. You know, they
Right,
were there having a party, they were playing bingo and drinking and
right.
enjoying like this time, and she just went to bed and then just, you know, you know, died in her sleep. And it was like, man, it sucked, but I think she was happy, she was okay with it, that was like,
Right.
it was sad, it was super sad.
Very sad. I definitely
But
shed a tear because I was like, man, like, yeah, I felt I've never had the privilege of experiencing my grandparents. That's because of just how it worked out for me.
yeah,
Um, but I did get real close to my wife's grandma, and she passed away. So I kind of hit home when she passed. I was like, man, the kind
yeah,
of the glue that held everyone together and whatnot. You
yeah,
lose her, and it's such a sad moment to kind of go through that. And and real quick, even my wife's abuela, she passed away. Like I think her anniversary was actually 3 days ago, 2 days ago. So
oh,
rest in peace to her,
yeah,
rest her soul. But yeah, everyone can relate to, not everyone, but a lot of people can relate to losing a special loved one as close as like a grandma.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, very very touching scene with the whole crossover and all that. But yeah, I totally agree with the music too, man. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not a
that was
musical guy, but
the best
this
song.
this film kind of like it got me going, man, with some of the stuff.
He, man, Lin-Manuel knows how to do it, man. Like I said,
Yeah,
he knows how to do it. That's why if you haven't watched Hamilton, watch Hamilton. It's I saw it live in Chicago,
yeah.
which was pretty cool. But there's a lot of I'm gonna keep drawing a blank. Hamilton actors in this. So the guy who played the ice cream truck guy.
Which one, the soft serve or the Pirawa
No,
guy?
Mr. Softy, the ice cream truck.
The soft serve. Yeah, yeah, Mr.
Yeah,
Softy.
so he
Okay.
plays the King of England, George whatever, in
Mm,
the original Hamilton. So if you watch
that's
Hamilton, you'll see him. He's King George, and then the other guy with the ice with the flavored ice,
oh, I didn't know
that's
that's him.
Lin-Manuel. Yeah, that's
That's
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
the Pirahuero is how you
Yes,
say it.
yes, 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 yes.
I say the Piragua guy. Piragua is a name that some Hispanics, not all Hispanics, by the way. You can't say this to a Mexican. But I
Yeah, no,
think
it's what is it with
Dominicans
the
and Puerto
R?
Ricans, Piragua, Piragua, and you say it like Piragua,
Yeah.
Piragua. He's
Oh,
George
he's
Washington.
George Washington. I'm sorry. Oh my God, he's George Washington. I'm
Oh, he played
sorry.
in the Hamilton. In the Hamilton. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
There
in
you go.
Hamilton.
Thank you.
So the Mr. Softy played George Washington.
Thank you for that,
So
Erica.
obviously he was like good stuff. I appreciate that.
But yeah,
Um,
I didn't make that
yeah,
connection. I didn't realize that that's freaking
yeah, that
Lin-Manuel,
was
the
liminal.
freaking Piragua
The,
guy.
the beard, it just looks so weird. It was fake. There's no way
Oh,
that was real. It
okay.
looks
You got
really.
me.
It didn't look good on him. I don't know. I was like, maybe because he has like a baby face kind of. I don't know
Mm,
if like that just a beard like that. Because if
yeah,
it was a natural beard, like good for him, because that was a pretty epic beard. That's
yeah.
why I'm saying it's probably fake because it was
Oh,
too good of a
too good.
beard, and it was
Okay.
so
Yeah.
dark. I was like, beards don't beards are always lighter than your natural hair color,
Yeah.
So it was
That's
like,
too ideal.
yeah,
So
but
yeah,
it
and
was so
that
good.
was hilarious. That rivalry going on, the Piragua
That
guy
was funny.
against the soft serve guy.
That was funny.
And oh man, that was pretty good. They don't have any lines really. They're just singing, in the moment. And he's Piragua guys talking about piraguas, which are like icy drinks, or what do you call them?
It's like a shaved ice with
Shake
like
juice
flavored water,
concentrate.
flavored
Yeah,
juice. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
I can
It's
think of
usually
it.
and oh, by the way, so they
Those are
really
the
got
best.
the abuela said this line that I think really is a big, big theme in the film too. She says this quote that man, super super great quote. It says, "Oh, if you go to damn, I even wrote down the time. If you go to 19 minutes 56 seconds, you'll see that she says the little details that tell the world we are not invisible. That's what
Mhm.
Hispanics are about. They're all about the little things and the most intricate small details. She was like knitting some of these like towels or these like cloth
handkerchiefs
pieces,
kind of. Yeah.
and they're very very special, and the designs are like super like traditional and whatnot, which was really real dope.
I think it was Nina's mom who died. They didn't tell you how. That was
Yeah.
her mom's. So it was like even more.
There you
It's
go.
like, oh, her mom who had died. Now Abuela Claudia has them.
Yeah.
So it's like, being taken care of. Like there's
Right.
love in it.
So
But
when
yeah,
she
that was
dies,
super cool.
she passes those on to. Damn, who does she pass those on to? She passes
I think.
somebody.
Well, he has one. Usnavi has one in
Box?
his
Shop
shop.
box? Oh no, the shop.
He has one in the shop on the shelf. There's one like hanging.
Oh, that's right. That's
corner.
right.
But just one. So I don't know. Maybe everyone in the neighborhood got one.
Maybe, right?
I mean, but technically there'll be more of Nina's than anybody's because those are her mom's.
But it's so true. Like when you watch this film, you will see that even the smallest details, down to the piraguas. So if you've ever been to Chicago, and we have those same piragueros as they're called, the icy guys, but they have their concentrated juices. You'll have like the cherry, the strawberry, the lime. There's a whole bunch, right? The blue one. When I was little, I'd be like, "Oh, let me give me the blue flavor, give me the red flavor," and that was it. Odali's my wife. She's one to be very very intricate with what she wants. She wants the cherry one, and if you don't got the cherry one, it ain't it. And you'll notice that if you go into Chicago, you won't see cherry too much. There's like one guy, maybe in Humboldt Park, but that's about it. So in here, they got not only the flavors on point, they had like I saw all the flavors that they had, and he was in the Piraguero guy was shouting them too. But he had them in glass containers. You don't see that in Chicago. Do you ever see that?
No.
I never see that, and that was a really good detail to include.
Those got to be crazy expensive. There's possibly something like handed down or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, like glass ones are not cheap.
Yeah.
So yeah, just I don't know. That's super cool. Another thing, real quick, was talking about like little details. Was when Kevin, which is Jimmy Smits, he's on the phone and it's he's on hold. You hear the music play in the background. The music playing in the background was the music from a song from Hamilton.
No,
and it's probably one of my more favorite ones. It's where the King of England has a song, and it's a really goofy kind of song. It's really funny, and it's that music from that song. And I'm like, is that? And my girlfriend's like, yeah, that's it. So I was like, awesome, dude. You gotta watch. You gotta watch
Marvel. You need to recruit this guy, bro. Like he's on some Easter egg stuff.
Oh my god, dude, Lin-Manuel Miranda's been in. He was in How I Met Your Mother.
Okay.
He was in an episode there. He was in a bunch of things. I can't think of other stuff, but yeah. I mean, he works for Disney. I think he's writing the songs for the new live action Little Mermaid, I believe.
Okay, but I feel like for screenwriting or directing, they should get him in, man. Like he's a genius with the music.
Anything. Yeah, the music is on point.
Okay. This is his first one he directed?
He didn't direct it. The director was oh my god, what was his name?
Oh my bad.
Having a complete brain fart. He was the guy.
John Chu.
There you
go. Okay.
He directed Crazy Rich Asians.
He was a screenwriter. Never mind. He was okay. Never mind. My bad.
Let me know producer. The writer of it is the writer of a book.
Quiara.
She wrote the book that became a musical that became a movie. So
damn.
A couple layers there. But yeah, just to finish up real quick.
The lottery ticket.
I mean,
that's the way.
The lotto ticket. She had everyone had one. Always gets lotto, and his store had sold the winning one, but no one knew who had won it. I thought it was going to be Kevin, and Kevin was going to get the money for his daughter, but it wound up being Abuela Claudia has it, and she was going to give it to Usnavi, for like all his dreams and stuff. But he turned around and he used it for Sonny. And I'm like, oh wow, it's that because that's was it 96,000. That was like they even had a song about 96,000.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he used it to like help him get his citizenship and then put the rest in the trust fund for him. I was like, that's super like really awesome. It's like, but that's how much they believed in each other, like Kevin with
Yeah.
Nina, Usnavi with Sunny, is like how much they believe in the next generation. It's like you have to be better, you got to do better, and willing to put whatever money they have for that. And I'm like, that's super super cool. I don't know, I
I
don't know
agree.
how to explain it, but it's like something really awesome.
It is really awesome, man. Like, I don't know too many people that I would like go out of my way to like, give them my life savings or give them, that's crazy, dog. You
Yeah,
talking, when you're talking lottery and you talking money that's bigger than $50,000, that's a decent amount of money that can change your life
yeah,
instantly. I'm not saying you're set for life, but it can change your life for sure.
yeah,
Um,
get you on the right track.
you want to play that game real quick? Real quick, what would you do with $96,000? Go.
Oh my god. I would probably pay off all my debt, and that would
Okay.
still give me a decent amount left.
Okay.
And then I don't know. I mean, at this point, it's like maybe put it into like fixing up the house a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's what I would kind of do, because I mean, I have some projects I want to get done, and 96,000 will definitely help me refinish my basement and get a new garage.
Hell yeah.
It's like, but like that's the stuff that would make me happy. It's like get to hang out, down in the basement with me, my girlfriend, the dog, and the cat. Be out
Hell
in the
yeah.
backyard and hang out back there and stuff like that. So I don't know. I mean, it's for me, it's simple.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I don't know. What about you?
If I were to win $96,000 right now, I would cut a check to my parents. I would cut a check to my siblings. These are not big checks, by the way. It's $96,000, but but I give them, everyone in my close family. When I say family, I'm talking about friends as well. Um, and I would definitely reinvest my money and create my own business. And I definitely put in, and I know it sounds real corny, cliche, but I'd put a bunch of money into this network. Nerd Huddle Network. I would definitely do that, man, because we have something pretty cool going on. A cool group of guys that are like-minded, talk about the same, testosterone based topics. We got, sports and
Sports and all
pop
that.
popular stuff, man. Love it.
Yeah. Speaking of, that was one thing I was thinking about. Like, I want to get some more like women in it, because I think that always helps out in getting a
Yeah.
different views and aspect of different things.
Hell
But
yeah.
yeah, that's kind of funny. But I mean, that was probably one thing I would definitely do too, is like buy all this like recording equipment, cut off a little corner of the garage to be a little recording studio.
There you go.
Like have everyone come over, and we'll just do that. But yeah, I don't know. You made mine sound much more selfish. You're like, I'm gonna give everyone some money.
I mean, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like, I never really had much stuff growing up. Like, not to get too emotional, but like, I kind of like relate to some of the guys in the barrio in this film.
Mm.
I never really had much growing up, so I don't have like the craziest hobbies. I don't like have these crazy gaming hobbies that I wish I had. Like, I wish I was a real gamer and whatnot. But I never really had the latest stuff. Like now I do because I had big boy money. Yeah, I have like the new system and I have a PC, a gaming PC. But like I don't really care for too many things nowadays. Like even down
Yeah.
to like a house. Like I'd rather get like a condo or something like small. Like I'm
Mm.
not trying to do big. But I do want to help people around me. That's for sure. So you in the
Yeah.
comments, if you were to get $96,000, what would you spend it on? Let us know in the comments. Share
Absolutely.
the video and let us know what you think.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, that's about it. So obviously, Usnavi, he stays. He has a kid with Vanessa,
Hmm.
and that's who he's telling the story to, and kind of an ending that I knew what was gonna kind of happen. He's not gonna leave. The whole movie is about him loving the neighborhood.
Right.
So
You know what
so
threw me off? What's going to come full circle? What we started off with? He
hmm.
was telling this story with a background of him being at the beach,
Oh,
which made it assume as if he did take the
he
trip
did.
to the
Yeah,
DR and his kids were like right there in the sand or whatever. And like you see the background, everything is beach, right? And then
yeah.
when he makes the decision at the end of the movie that he's gonna stay and recreate that bar slash, fashion designer store that he kind of collaborated with his now wife or whatever, Lena,
Yeah.
or was it her name Lena?
Vanessa.
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 Wow, I was way off. Vanessa. Like he recreates a mixture of a bodega, clothing store, which is like super like nice, trendy stuff, and what was the
Like a
third thing?
beach bar
Oh,
kind
in
of
a
thing.
beach, yeah. He
Yeah,
brought the
that was kind of
DR.
cool.
That was cool.
Yeah,
That was pretty cool. Very
yeah.
very out there, very new and modern and hipstery kind of. But it looked like it worked, and that's how it ended. Like the background when he's like telling the story and he has like his dad's hat and all that. Even the background starts to like CGI itself into
Into the store. Yeah,
into the store, and I was like, oh, so he didn't go to DR.
yeah, yeah. I thought it was like, oh, this is him. He's retired or something. I don't know. You
Ah,
know,
yeah. I thought so
so,
too. I totally
that
got
was,
that vibe. I
maybe,
thought he was
but
retired, and his kids were running the store, and I thought that was like his granddaughter, but it turns out she was calling
possibly,
him
yeah,
daddy. So
yeah,
that
yeah,
was his
yeah,
dad.
yeah. But yeah, no, I like that how he just turned the store into his dream, like his dad had his dream, so but he incorporated his dad's dream into his own, and it was good, man. It was really 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 good.
Oh yeah.
I got some pictures real quick. So yeah, so I mean that's the store. He was at. It's Lin-Manuel, and then that's the guy who played George Washington in Hamilton.
Soft milk guy,
So
Mr. Softy or
yeah,
whatever. They
yeah.
have a rivalry in the film. A few times you'll see that they kind of like mess with each other,
There's
and
a
then
post-credit scene.
I didn't realize that, dude. I
Yeah,
did as so when I finished the movie,
it was silly.
I left it going. I left the movie going,
Oh,
and I'm
okay.
over here on the computer and whatever. And then I see the TV, and I'm like, huh? And then I see that we're gonna spoil it because we're the spoiler kings. But when I say it, what happens, man? The blackout. It affected. Uh,
Oh, did it affect his truck?
well, the heat of the
The
blackout
heat. Yeah.
affected Mr. Softy's truck, which
Yeah,
requires electricity and I guess gas too, and whatnot. And his truck broke down.
yeah,
And so in the end, in this whole rivalry that you see throughout the film, which is very very small, like little 10-second segments,
yeah. Those little
um,
things.
is the Piragua man won this
Yeah,
whole like debacle between them
yeah,
because his little carrito carries stuff that you don't need electricity to keep cold. He
yeah.
has his own little
A
system that he
big ice
has.
block and his little shaver.
Boom. Like
Yeah,
he was
done.
made, and he benefited from all the sales because that's what happened. I guess the
Yeah,
Piragua man, that was his part of the hood, and Mr. Softy that
yeah.
was serving soft serve ice cream
He's trying.
cones.
Yeah,
He was trying to move it on his spot, and
yeah.
like Pirao
Moving
Man's
on
like, bro,
territory.
is my spot, and at the end we come to see that Pirao Man won.
Yeah,
So that was
that,
cool.
that
That
was
was
that
cool.
was a, that was a nice little post credit scene.
Real silly,
There's
real silly. Nothing like
the
nothing that's gonna like make you be like, oh my god,
nah,
there's
it
gonna be a
didn't.
part two. Like no,
Yeah,
nothing like
no,
that.
it's just I think it's like a cool little scene that they wanted to throw in, but didn't know where to put it in the movie.
Right, and to
So,
include the director, which is a cool thing that not director, the writer, the fucking what I'm talking
oh,
about.
Lemon
Lin-Manuel, there
more
you go,
into it. Yeah.
him.
So these are the gossip girls from the salon.
Hmm.
Jimmy Smith going around. That's the scene from her song from
Oh yeah,
Abuela Claudia's song. Oh man, that was good.
it was.
Right here they're talking about what gonna make the 96,000. What they're gonna do with it.
Yeah, everybody closed down
Uh,
the shops early because it
yeah,
was so hot, and they're going to the pool or whatever.
yeah, yeah. There's all at the pool,
There's the
hanging
pool
out.
scene
More at
where
the
the
pool.
cousin had mad bars.
More at the pool. But yeah, it's just like it was really cool. It's like they're just like all one big family, it's all the neighborhood.
And
But
he,
yeah, the
yeah.
scene shots were amazing. Like this was
True.
like such a cool, and then they wind up dancing on the building, and I was like, oh, that was really really well done.
Oh, you
Very
talk
La
about
La Land like.
Spider Man. What the hell was that? That was a little. That threw me off.
Oh.
For a second, I'm
Yeah.
like, "Is that Miles Morales? Does he make an appearance?" I'm like, "Bro, this is a confirmation. Marvel is
Crossing
in a
over with
multiverse. Like, is they gonna tie in this somehow?"
that's funny. I didn't think about that. That's funny.
Yeah, they
But
were
yeah,
like
because it's
walking on
right
the
there in New
building
York.
as if they were Spider Man, dude. They were Spider
Yeah,
Man.
yeah, yeah. That was a cool scene.
Such a New York
Uh,
thing.
Claudia. Yeah, some other ones. Nice little
The
scene at the end.
I agree with you. The imagery and the details, down to the very smallest details,
Yeah,
very, very pleasing. Very pleasing.
Yeah,
Very
it was
authentic. The clothing was good. Music was good. You want to
yeah
get down to ratings? What do you think
yeah
about the
man.
film, man?
Let's finish this thing up.
We got three ways we
So
rate, right?
yeah, go for it. What you want to tell them
But,
what it is?
no, you got it, man.
All right. So we got now, later, never. So now, go watch it right now. Stop what you're doing. Go watch it. Later is whenever you feel like watching it. No big deal. And then never is avoid this movie. Avoid it. So those are our three ratings. And you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. So
Go for
I was going into this film not expecting much. Like
it. Yeah.
when I think musical, I'm like, oh, another one. And so I was automatically, not automatically, but I was going into this film thinking, oh, it's gonna be a never. Like you never want to see this film. It's not. Don't even put it on your TV screen or your computer screen or your phone. Don't even do it. But then after watching the film, I've turned it from a never to a later. A later. I don't think it's a film you should
Later.
watch right now. It is a really, really good film, and like I really have no complaints. I really don't. Even down to the
Yeah.
musical part, I can't even complain about that. I don't have a single complaint. The only reason why I would say it's a later film instead of watch it right now or else you missed out is because you may not relate to the film. You may not relate to being the outcast, or you're not relatable to being Hispanic or having such a big culture, upbringing. Like some people don't
Yeah.
have a lot of traditions and whatnot. Like me growing up, I'm Hispanic and I don't have the biggest traditions and whatnot. I didn't celebrate them as much as other kids, and like my wife, she celebrated everything. I didn't. I grew up, it's not like that. So like sometimes maybe you'll see this film and you'll be like, can't relate. But that's why I say it's a later. As far as
Okay.
like the characters that they used, man, I almost want to give it a now, but no, I'm putting it for later just because of the relatability of how many people you're gonna reach in your audience.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah.
you?
So for me, it's like I wasn't sure what I was gonna get into. I know Lin-Manuel does great things. I know the cast was gonna be good. My biggest thing was same thing. It was like it's a musical, so your audience goes from
Yeah,
very very small, like people that like are willingly to go see a musical.
right.
But if you can get past that, like, oh, it's a musical, it's like, but that's like saying like, oh, well, it's just a comedy or it's just a horror film. It was like, yeah, but just it's still a good film, whether category it is.
Hmm.
This category is a musical, and I'm saying go watch it now. I thought it was really good.
Yeah,
It got
yeah,
emotional in certain parts. It got good. It
yeah.
got parts where you're just kind of like moving around and stuff like that. So for me, it's like watch it now, man. It's on HBO Max.
Mm.
It's like it's worth watching it now. I thought. Um, Other musicals, I'm like, I'll watch it later. Like it's a good one. This one, I thought it was just good. It was well paced. 2.5 hours, a little bit longer, but it also takes a long time. I'm sure they trimmed a lot out of the play for the movie. Because plays are
Yeah.
like 3 hours, 3.5 hours. I don't know. They have a big intermission too.
Hmm.
But Rotten Tomatoes, it's got
Damn.
97%, so it is certified fresh, and the audience is at 95. And I've been hearing
Damn.
nothing but good things about this movie. It's
Yeah.
everyone that saw it like loves it. Biggest issue is it's not doing good in the theaters. It's not bringing in the money. And that might be because it's on HBO Max, but it was for me. It's a now. For me, it's a
Mm.
now. Obviously, Rotten Tomatoes audience and critics love it, so
Yep.
that's always good. Good.
Yeah. Even seeing that, I just I don't know something about like
It is a
when it
musical, so
it's
that that
yeah, like even
that
it being a
deters a lot of
musical,
people.
it does. It deterred me, but I still watched it going well, like unbiased. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna go full in. Let me just take it as it is, and I ended up liking it. I like it so much, but I just don't like it to the point where I'm like, watch it right now, or else you missed out on something. Right? A new
Mm.
Marvel film comes out, that's a watch now. It's almost hopefully they don't, knock on wood, they don't like mess up on their next film, but like usually when you watch like a Marvel film, it's a watch now. You gotta watch it, or else you just missed out.
Yeah, you missed out on the hype.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
so well put together. Like when I think of watch now, I think of like Dark Knight type film, or like something that was just so good that like you're just in utter shock or awe. Yeah, this one left
Oh,
me.
yeah.
I even shed a tear for this film, but like I'm gonna watch this film and probably not watch it again. I might watch it one more time, maybe for that drinking game. Who knows?
I might watch it again. I like, I don't know. See if my girlfriend's in the mood and like, hey, you want to watch it again? I'm like, yeah, cool, I'll watch it again.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I thought it was like, especially if you're into musicals, it's a 100% watch now. If you're
Yeah.
not into musicals, I still say watch it now, but it's more of a I know you're gonna watch it later kind of thing.
Yeah.
But this is a good like Friday night, stay at home date kind of movie. Yeah, I think that's a good thing for it.
Right.
But yeah, so you got it later, and I got it marked as now.
Yep.
Let us know in the comments what you guys think about it. But I think that is it for this week, man.
Sweet.
I forgot what we are doing. Man, I always forget what we're doing next week. I think next week we're doing Luca.
For next week, do you know what film we're doing? No, we're doing Luca probably. I don't know.
I think we're doing Luca. Because there's not that much coming out the next couple weeks. It's either
Is it Black Widow coming out?
Black Widow's coming out?
no, that's July.
That's July.
Yeah, it's either Luca or the Hitman's wife bodyguard, which I'm not. That's with Ryan Reynolds, Samuel L. Jackson, Selma Hayek.
Huh?
Fast and the Furious comes out next week. Oh,
But it'll come after.
The week after.
After
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be for next week. Yeah, that we're doing that one. But for
Yeah,
this
we're definitely
next
doing Fast
week,
9.
I don't really lean towards either one. Do you? Did
Yeah.
you lean towards one? You said Luca,
I mean, I'm more excited about Luca.
Yeah, that's another one we're talking about. Hitman's Bodyguard.
Yeah.
Maybe we do that
Yeah.
one. That's a real popular.
Yeah.
set of
I watched the
actors.
first one. It's a sequel. I didn't care for the first one.
What was the
That's
first
the only
one?
reason. The Hitman's Bodyguard, and now it's a Hitman's wife's bodyguard or whatever. It's so stupid.
Oh,
But it's a sequel. It's a Hitman's Bodyguard with Samuel L. Jackson and Ryan Reynolds, and now I think they're throwing in Selma Hayek.
I guess I gotta watch the other one too. Then, if we go that route,
I might have to.
I have
It's been a while since I've seen it. But I'm gonna definitely watch Luca too. That's a Pixar movie, so Pixar is and it probably be another musical because it is Pixar. So,
Hey, what do you think, sweetie? Let's get your input. What do you think? Should we do the Pixar one? It's a Pixar film, Luca, or should we do
the
Hitman's wife's body? You want to go to the movies that bad? Okay. If we watch that, we have to watch the other movie. It's a sequel. You okay with that? Okay.
You probably don't need to. I'm sure a movie like that is not going to rely too much on like you need to know what happened in the first one. They'll probably let you know in the first like 5 minutes.
Okay.
I'm down for either one.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, if you're watching this and it's before the 21st of June, let us know what movie you want to watch or you want us to review.
Let us know.
Let us know down in the comments. Cool, man. But that is it for this week, dude. A little bit longer one. That's all right. So this is our schedule for the Nerd Huddle Podcast Network. Tomorrow we got Fredo and Brian and Marvin doing the Panda and Grizzly show. They're gonna break down some more weeks of the Bears 2021 season and talk some like updates for the Bears. And then Wednesdays we got Dynasty Pylon with Mark and Martin. And they do like IDP and they're breaking down divisions right now. And you guys have some special guests for the next couple of weeks while Martin is out doing his army duty. And then Thursdays, did we just become best friends with Alfredo and myself? And we talk about pop culture. So I think we made a decision for the next couple of weeks, though. We're going to do Loki reviews, it works out perfectly because Loki's coming out on Wednesdays. That podcast is on Thursdays. So we're going to do Loki reviews, of all the episodes. There's going to be 6 episodes in total. And I know you were gonna jump on it, and I know some stuff happened.
Man.
But you're always welcome to jump on, man, with us. But I think that the three of us, with Brian, Alfredo, and myself, like we love this show. And it was so cool, like how we were able to like see different things. So if you want to watch that with us,
the Time Police, bro.
Yeah,
Damn Time Police. Didn't know it was a thing until then.
It's gonna this is gonna change the MCU. So this is for us, you know, me being a nerd. I know Brian's a nerd. I know Fredo likes the MCU, and I know you like the MCU too. You know, so this is gonna be a game changer when it comes to that. So we're breaking that down for the next few weeks, so you can catch that. And then Sundays, Morning Spike, we talk about fantasy football, NFL news, and stuff like that. And then as we get close to the football season, we're gonna take all your fantasy football questions live before the games. And then always every Monday, you can catch me and Will, Peppa MD. Follow Peppa MD on all those channels. Links are in the description. Twitch, YouTube, TikTok. He's got funny TikToks, man. But yeah, man. And then we're gonna be here every Monday doing a bunch of movies. I think we got movies until like freaking August, dude. So we got our plan for the next month or so. But cool, man. Appreciate all you guys. Thank you for all the subscriptions and all the likes and follows and all that good stuff like that. Appreciate all of it. We really, really do. But cool. Tell your friend to kiss the bodega guy. I'm like, was your son wearing a green screen or something? It was like he's wearing a green screen.
That was kissing the bodega guy, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for your help, bro.
Yeah. Keeping the community going, man. All right. But that is it for us for this week, and we will catch you all next week with another movie review. Later.